real conversations, meaningful support, lasting connection. Welcome to the Neurodivergent Resource Podcast. Join us. Hi, thanks for joining us today. I am here at the Neurodivergent Resource Podcast, and today I am having a wonderful conversation with Jan Schlueter, and we are going to just kind of dive into a little bit more about him, and we're talking to him. He is part of our board of the or our advisory board, or I think of the International Neurodiversity Resource Center. So we wanted to bring him on and really just honor his journey and what he's going through now and see how we can support him overall. So, Jan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me. It's the second time we meet, and I'm excited to, let's talk a little bit.
Yeah, let's get into more about you. Last time it was, a lot about the work you're doing, and we're going to go backwards and talk about more about just an introduction about you and kind of what brought you to the work you're doing today. So give us an introduction for those. This will come out first before that one. So this will be a wonderful way to start that.
Okay, so start with the facts and figures, I guess. So I'm from Germany. I'm 53 years old. I am married, one wife, three kids, two dogs, one horse, which we brought actually one dog and one horse we brought from Germany because there is a saying that says the fourth kid has fur. So so we couldn't leave the fourth kid behind when we moved here to Tennessee a little bit over 4 years ago, and so here we are as a bunch of a large family. And I know that three kids is not much here in Tennessee. I've seen here families with at least 5, 6 to even 10 kids. So I feel a little bit underrepresented here with only three kids. But it's fun.
That's great. Well, I'm in Utah, and I don't know how much you know about Utah, but it is also known for its large families. And I have two biological. Three, I'm raising three teenagers at this time right now, so I'm lucky to have a bonus kid. And it can still be a lot of experiences and a lot of hormones going on at once to a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. So, but
welcome to the club. I have three teenagers too. So.
We're right there together then, aren't we?
Yes.
Be calling, texting it. What should we do now? That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about why you got into the work that you're doing now, and then we'll kind of breeze into that.
It's I think it was kind of, I don't know how to call it, destiny or fate or something, because I was working with my previous company that was working in the field of computer vision AI for supply chain in healthcare. And we relocated our company from the San Francisco Bay Area to Nashville because of its healthcare, I would say, focus. Nashville and Tennessee is very much focused on healthcare. So I had, I would say, pretty good connections in the healthcare industry. Not so much at that time to the autism, let's say, industry / ecosystem / community. But I can talk about this a little bit later. But I was introduced also, and this is something that I did, or I try to do always, like to volunteer and to be a mentor. And so I, let's say, crossed paths with the Wondery, which is a I would say, autistic focused innovation hub or let's say like innovation and acceleration and support ecosystem, the Wondery at Vanderbilt University. And I was working there, and I was also at the Entrepreneur Center in Nashville. So I was very much engaged in this ecosystem. And when I left my company after 9 years being a co-founder and COO in this regard, I was like looking for the next chapter in life, and because I really loved it and still love being in Tennessee, Nashville area. So I was, let's say, spreading out my wings and feelers to find out what could be the next chapter. And I was then being introduced to the Frist Center for Autism and Innovation, to be precise, to two people. One was, or one, sorry, one is, not was, one is the vice dean of the robotics and research lab at Vanderbilt University, Dr. Nilan Sakar, which is also my now um, co-founder and CTO. And I was connected to Dr. Keivan Stasson, who is the director of the Frist Center for Autism and Innovation. And both were looking for an entrepreneur in residence for a certain project, which now is Sandy, the driver readiness platform. We talked about this. And yeah, I found this task very challenging and very exciting. So I took it on to get the prototype version of this driver readiness platform towards market with everything that comes with it. And yeah, that was the way my way into this ecosystem of what is autism, and why is autism, and what is the market, and what are the stakeholders and everything. So I really dug into this ecosystem, not knowing at that time that my daughter is also autistic on the spectrum, because I didn't know. And I think that's something that we can, let's say in general, that there are still so many people out there who have no idea about what is autism. And you cannot blame them for being ignorant, or let's say have a different opinion about things, because I'm guilty as charged. I have no idea, or I had no idea about all of those things. So thanks to that, building up that knowledge, I was like, might be my daughter be autistic as well. And yes, so about this, there's kind of an, let's say, funny story to find out that your daughter is autistic, um, while working previously with the Frist Center for Autism Innovation, and really get to know the industry. So
I
that's
love
what
that.
happened.
It sounds like it was like set up for you. You
Yeah.
know, you were put into that environment, you were able to learn what you needed to. And then at the time that she needed that understanding, you had it. You weren't, uh, you know, push back. You didn't push back on it. You didn't not accept it, which is a really hard thing for many parents and spouses and grandparents and things. Oftentimes, I think that they find pushback from someone else about the diagnosis itself. So I think it's beautiful that it was
For us,
given to you that way.
it was great. It was the best thing happened to us and to my daughter as well, because she didn't know where she belonged. What is wrong with her? She was asking us herself, what is wrong with her? Why is she struggling in certain areas so much and thriving in others so much? And we couldn't, uh, let's say, couldn't tell. We didn't know, and now we know. She knows, and it made so many things so much easier now, because she
Yeah.
was reflecting the past 7 to 10 years for herself. Certain situations that weren't good for her, she felt not good, we felt not good. We had, and this is, I think, not a secret, when of course the whole family is struggling, if someone has, let's say, a certain, I would say, is on the spectrum, to say it politically correct, and you don't know how to deal with this situation, because some are more severe than others. And uh, but knowing is the first step of, let's say, dealing with this, and yeah, working things out.
Yeah.
And that happened. And just one aspect to this, what my daughter, she is 18 now, when she was 17, the first thing that she decided for herself, with not regarding what I had to say or my wife had to say, she wanted to switch school types. So she switched from in-person school into an online homeschool kind of type. And I said, why would you do this? She was a junior. Why would you do the senior year in high school, switch schools? That is not cool. And she said, no, I want to do this. That the counselors said this is a good idea. And it was a good idea. So, yeah,
Yeah, sometimes we learn as parents that, especially when we give our kids a little bit of space, that it's better to follow and really learn to listen to them and their needs. Then
yeah,
you can really set up what they is good for them. And I think
100%.
that that's a thing that maybe will be generationally different in times to come, is that we'll are especially that generation of maybe your daughter and my teenagers will be in more of the mindset that, hey, we accept you as you are. Let's, move from there. And so maybe they'll have an easier time. But of course, there's going to be a problem. There can't be it can't be a divide without a
No, no, absolutely. And she caught up pretty quickly. So she, as she is, dug into this topic herself. So, and now she knows pretty much what's good for her and what's not. And that is awesome because she
Mm,
didn't know, we didn't know, but better she knows and can act and react on it and
yeah.
can express things that bothering her or is good or are good for her, which were not clearly defined before that.
Yeah.
So that was let's say, a lift in quality of life
Yeah.
and yeah, in the interaction in this little ecosystem, what you call family as well.
Yes, I love that. It makes a huge difference. I think that when we invited, a teen into our home, and it's not every day that you just do that, especially my son is profoundly autistic, and he does have some behaviors that could put, anyone, I wouldn't want to say at risk, but himself and anyone else at risk. And also how to um, observe without, number one, taking it personally, or getting involved where you're gonna, make it worse and escalate the situation. So it was this really special, after seeing the kind of relationship he was trying to build with my son. There was just an automatic, like, this is going to be great for everyone. And it really has been. It's been such a huge growth, um, having someone with a completely different cultural background being able to share experiences, but then having that unique friendship being able to be had within the safe boundaries of our home, and yeah, it made for been a unique experience. That's for sure.
Yes,
Oh,
and somewhat I'm happy that we found out at some point, and I don't mind that we found out late because these days diagnostics and let's say, I would say, the from toddler till you're 16-ish is pretty good covered with diagnostics and therapy and all of that. We didn't have that because we didn't think of it, and it already shows something that, again, our background at the Frisk Center, we are more focused on the more um, adolescents plus adults, young adults, kind of, because there's not many, let's say, I would say therapies, maybe it's too broad. There's not much, as much as it is in the younger, let's say, age group. So and that's why it's important to also help individuals who age out of the system, who are adolescents, who are looking for a job, who are, let's say, also being late diagnosed. It's a lot of people being late diagnosed, but what support can we give them? And
yeah.
that is something that is still a gap that we want to close with the things that we do at the Frisk Center. On a personal level, on the academic route that you go, or as an entrepreneur, or at some point as the whole population being older than, let's say,
Yeah,
16. Yeah.
absolutely. And there's not, I totally agree with you. It's like this fall off the chart kind of thing where I
Yeah.
even found it to be with my, there's these summer camps from 1 to 10, and then my 11 through 14 to 18-year-old have nothing to do because there's no camps for older kids. There's no programs for older, and especially where it's so much need is that transitioning point where they're transitioning, whether or not from elementary to middle school to high school to college, especially. And then I think one of the most important, high or college into the workforce. And how
Yes.
do we really get these individuals set up with an ecosystem of life skill training, and being able to use it? It's great to learn it, but it needs to be used. And that's kind of, I love that kind of roll into Sandy, because that is something tangible. You can touch it. You can see
Exactly.
it. It is something that isn't just this idea or a program outline. It's an actual
It's
physical
hands-on tech. It's hands-on
thing.
tech that helps you towards your goal becoming more independent.
Yes, exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to someone about it the other day. I went on a little field trip to the Next Work Autism program. It's like a residential work program here. And I told them, "Oh, this is something you guys need to get into this workforce." And so we're gonna seek out some more organizations here in Utah and get a simulator here, because I would want to, I have teens that are about to be driving. There wouldn't I couldn't think of a better opportunity them to have that hands-on experience.
Yes.
It's so
100%.
meaningful. Yeah. How did your daughter feel about her experience? Like, what confidence and empowerment, or even like life skills, did she gain from using the simulator herself?
Um, I wouldn't say that she's now a perfect driver.
No, no. I think it takes years.
Yeah, it takes years. But for her and for us as her parents, we gained a lot of, let's say, less shuttle service calls from her. So she has certain routes that are very, very important to her that we practice with her, or she feels comfortable to drive. And that is already a great relief on all of us, because she takes the key, says, I'm going to one of, let's say, four, let's say, destinations that she's feeling comfortable with. And that is already awesome. And when we find something that is important to her, then we will help her to get confidence. She drives in the front, and then we drive next, as a back, as a behind her, and then we have our phones on so that we can talk. So we are not sitting next to her like in driving school. So we are sitting in a different car behind her. And if she needs guidance, then we give it her through a phone, so that she already has a little bit more independence. And then at some point she feels, yeah, okay, this is easy. I can do this without you. Goodbye, boom. And then she has one more, let's say, destination on her chart that she can drive without us. And she feels, everyone feels relieved
Mhm.
with that. For her, it's this confidence boost. Is this, I can do this. I can take the keys, and who knows what happens, kind of, which we don't, which we know doesn't, because it only drives to the certain places. But she admits that she is sometimes saying, okay, I take this little detour, which is not that big of a detour, but she is exploring, and that is what is amazing.
That's what we truly raise kids to do, is to
Yeah.
become independent and go
Yeah.
out and explore. I couldn't agree more. And this year we're doing a lot more like public transportation. And I'm even getting like a debit card for some financial responsibility, to start understanding what a card is and how to use it. Because, yeah, we could turn into adults and get a card, but doesn't mean we know how to use it or even be responsible or any of those
That
things.
is that
I'm
is exactly
start
happening right now. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. We're going to start at 14 for our daughter and have it just hopefully start her out on the right foot of financial responsibility and understanding. I don't think that I ever was uh, offered those opportunities in my life. So it's great when we can give our kids those things that we may have missed
absolutely.
out on, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Love
No, in fact, I was, I don't know, 2, 3 days ago with my daughter, opening with her own, because she's 18, her first bank account. And it was,
that.
I would say, stressful for her because it was new to her. So it was very exhausting for her because understanding all the things that you shouldn't do, you cannot go under this limit. And if you do, you have to pay penalty fees or something like this. And she is about to embark to a new journey. She is going for a gap year to Iceland.
Wow. Oh, that's
Yeah,
gonna be amazing.
and the most things that freak her out is basically how can I get from the airport in Reykjavik to the 1.5 hour destination where she is then working, or let's say being on this, let's say, horse kind of farm where she's working as a horse somewhat trail guide, or I don't know. But the 3 bus stops to that destination that she has to do on her own, that is a big, huge barrier for her mentally. It's
Yeah.
easy to ride a bus. You have 3 bus numbers, you stand there, you just have, for me it would be easy, but for her this is a huge barrier that she has to overcome alone the first time in her life. So I most probably, me and my wife, we will be on the phone with her,
Yeah.
with the time difference of 6 hours, and guide her through bus stop to bus stop.
And maybe
So
have her speak tell the bus driver. I'm
no,
sure that
that
he
is
would
not
support.
that what she wants. She
Oh, she
wants
does.
to talk
Oh,
to nobody. So I don't know. It
yeah,
will be an interesting story that we tell our
wow.
grandkids at some point.
Yeah, that's exciting. Wow, what an opportunity. I'm so proud of her and you guys for, you know, letting yourself just go with it and see how it
Yeah,
turns out because really
let's
that's
see.
how they grow from all of those resilient opportunities and
And that
experience.
is a big and that is a big point. So some, not us, we are trying to, let's say, move the needle. We are trying to raise the bar step by step, because if you don't do this, even though there are some negative experiences, so what? That is also a part of life. And so we are, maybe that's the German in us, we just let things go. But of course it's hard for her, and we know that, and she knows that. We know that. So it will be a challenge for all of us, her
Yeah.
journey. But if she managed this, oh man, I can't, let's say, I can't imagine how awesome this is then for all of us again, then, if she
Absolutely.
managed to
She
get
will.
through this
I
challenge.
know
Yeah.
it. It sounds like she's really an incredible lady, and I'm really excited to hear about the other end of this journey. So keep me
Yes, yes,
informed.
I will keep you posted. Yes.
I love that. Let's talk about the some of the more work you're doing and the tech and things and ideas. Where do you see I mean, we need so much in our lives to build an ecosystem that is autistic friendly. W- But what other parts are we starting with? Like that we have the Sandy. What other programs are you
Yeah.
doing?
So I see, to be honest, the Frisk Center as a nucleus floating in the sea, if you so will, and they're coming, let's say, rafts
Hmm.
and little islands towards, and we all connect. And I so in the last 18 months, I am, as the entrepreneur in residence and let's say CEO of Neurodiverse Technologies. I see there is an ecosystem around, building around, the Frisk Center for Autism and Innovation, and everyone is welcome to, like the ISS and space. Everyone can come with a module and can be part of this growing ecosystem. So because we have with neurodiverse technologies the commercialization platform where we have ready vetted scientifically based products, hands-on products, we talked about this, ready for market. We have the Neurotech Frontiers incubation platform, which helps companies who are startups, let's say less advanced, with an idea only maybe, or prototype level. So we help those and foster those, mentor those, and help those to get to a stage where Sandy is today. That is the Neurotech Frontiers incubation platform.
Hopefully that's
And then we
positive,
have
right?
Neurotech Frontiers with an
Okay,
S. It's a
got it.
many, many barriers, but yes. So, and then we have the Neurotech Frontiers conference,
Okay.
which was so hen and chicken. What was first? It was actually the incubator first, and we were looking for a platform to have stage time, to have a presence, exposure. That's where we came up last year with a 3-day event in Nashville with the Neurotech Frontiers conference, and it was a huge success. We just and kudos to Kevan Stason. He was like, "Yeah, let's do this. Let's say we researched a lot. There's not much happening in as a industry as a whole conference. There's always a teeny tiny bit of something other bigger, and we wanted to have this whole event where we invite everyone from stakeholders, from neurodivergent voices and caregivers and everyone. And this was a huge success. And we had just last week the 1-day travel event, 1 day in May and 3 days in October. So we are right now again facing, and here a little bit advertisement, October 13, 14, 15 for the Big Mama event in
Wonderful.
Nashville, same in the Langford Auditorium again. So this is also a platform where we have gathering, people come together, networking, exchange of ideas, different stakeholders of different parts of the industry.
Mm.
And then we have that is coming soon a partnership. It's called Ascend, and Ascend is basically the acronym for the Assistive and Supportive Center for Empowerment and Neurodiversity and Development, which is nothing else than an innovation hub in the south of Nashville, where you have a huge campus which is run by Brightstone. Brightstone is an awesome organization that has housing, learning, therapy, recreation, all under one and working
Wow,
under one roof. So it depends on the severity, on the challenge that you have.
that's so neat.
You are in different programs on that property. And the Frisk Center and Neurodiverse Technologies, we will, let's say, with them together, um, like a lab, like a first level
Yeah.
partner lab there. To so yeah, this is so, and these are kind of modules around the Frisk Center for Autism and Innovation, and we are inviting everyone to come with their raft, with their island, with their partnership, to come and become bigger in this different ecosystem what we are building right now. And we call it the ecosystem of opportunities
Mm.
for independence. That is something that we are creating. It is not ready yet, but it is pretty good, evolving, and so we are very happy that everything that we do right now is um, is gaining traction.
Yeah. And it's always building more, it takes time for building things, and there's a lot of you know get it fast things, but things that are really meaningful, changing the way the, environment is accessed, those things take time. Those things are valuable, and they have there's just a lot of work to be done. And universal design, is something that we're talking a lot about, and probably something you guys are working on in within, projects and things there as well. So yeah, it's really exciting. You guys are doing wonderful work there. I'm just so excited and honored that we got to make this connection, Jan. And yeah, I'm really thankful that we can push this information out to the audience and the people who need it, the community who deserves it. So yeah, thank you so much. Let Before we close out here, let's give some websites and things like that so people can find you and learn how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, shall I put it in the chat or
Yeah, you
just
could just
name it?
tell me too, and I can type them right next to you and put them up.
So it's if you want to know more about the driver readiness platform, is sandy.website.
Ooh, that's easy.
It's like, oops, this is this. And of course, you can look, the Frisch Center for Autism and Innovation, and all the initiatives are on their website too.
Yes, I
And oh, very important, the Neurotech Frontiers. If you Google that, you find us on LinkedIn, you have with a website to be always in the know when and where the next event takes place. And yeah, again, to make a little bit advertisement, October 13, 14, 15, everyone is invited. Everyone shall come to have
Oh,
the biggest gathering in this ecosystem that we have here in the US. So we are about to become
that,
this, but
that's
that's, what is it called? To say something and then it will become that. I don't know. What is the
manifesting.
saying?
We are manifesting
Manifesting.
it.
Yeah, manifesting this.
That's right.
Exactly. A
Exactly. Well,
self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what I'm
let's
looking for.
manifest myself there as well.
Yes.
Because number one,
Yes.
I would love to come to Tennessee. I would love to meet
Yes.
you in person. And I just want to be a part of all the things you're doing.
Yeah. Everyone is invited, and I like you to come there and
Yeah.
check us out.
Oh, it's so much fun. Thank you so much for your time today. I know that we'll be in touch. So I look forward to that and have a great rest of your day, Jan.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah, for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.